Hello everybody, it's Penny Shelton here, and today is Tuesday, October the 12th. Before I really get into today's video, I want to make sure to welcome all of our brand new members that have recently joined Raw Food Rehab. In the last several days, we've had over 100 new people check in at the front desk. Many of you heard about Raw Food Rehab for the first time this past weekend on the Raw Mom Cooked Dad Summit. And so I just want to thank you for coming in, checking out what we're doing here, getting to know us a little bit. I realize that when you first check in at Raw Food Rehab, it can be a little bit overwhelming. I mean, we've got a big mansion rocking here. We've got over 20 different rooms. We've got an active blogging community. I mean, we're a pretty active website, and I just love it, and I hope that you will too. If you have any questions that you are wondering about how things work, please do make your first stop the hospitality desk, because I have a little orientation video that I made when we very first started the website that kind of helps you understand the lay of the land, so to speak. So I trust that before too long you're going to be running the halls of the Raw Food Rehab mansion, high-fiving people. You're going to be hanging out in the liquid lounge. You're going to be stopping by the kitchen for a new recipe, and you're going to come to love it, and hopefully it'll be your second home like it is for so many of us. So again, welcome to Raw Food Rehab. Yesterday I told you, I mentioned to you a little bit about the fact that my husband and I are doing this 3-day energy boost cleanse, which you can find out more about in my book Raw Food Cleanse. I also have posted a discussion thread on what exactly the 3-day energy boost cleanse is and what that looks like in case you don't have my book. I've got that posted on the main forum post on our main page, so you can check that out. But Gordon and I are on day 2 of the 3-day mini cleanse, and I just have to tell you, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really good. Not just because the food has been really good and simple. It's been simple to put together. But when I got on the scale this morning, I'd already lost 2 pounds in one day, and I have a really hard time losing weight. I mean, I almost have to fast to lose any weight. It's just never been something that's been easy for me. So I'm delighted, and I feel great. Mental clarity is off the charts. My husband's feeling really good, and he's a cooked food carnivore who's very receptive to the raw food diet. But he's like, honey, we need to do this 3-day energy boost once a month. And I'm like, absolutely. Of course, who wouldn't want your handmaid making raw food dishes for you, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? So it's been, a little bit more labor intensive for me because I'm making food and juice and smoothies and everything for 2 of us. And it really does take a little bit longer, but you know what? Our health is worth it. And there's definitely something to be said for planning out what you're going to eat at least maybe 2 or 3 days in advance. Scheduling what you're going to have, what ingredients you're going to need, go to the store, buy everything, and have it in your house. And as you saw on the main page today, I've got a picture of a screaming brat. And you guys know that brat. Most of you have a little screaming child that lives inside your body, right? I do. And we've called it many names. I've called it the beast. I've called it the devil. It's the screaming brat. That's what Heather likes to call hers, is the brat. And so whatever you want to call it, it's that voice inside of you that says, go through the drive-thru. Eat that whatever item is that's a trigger food for you that can cause you to go on that downward spiral back into the old patterns of eating that you don't want to be on. So today's theme really in my heart was we have got to give our little screaming brat some time out. And so doing something like a 3-day energy boost cleanse or a 7-day, in my book I've got 4 different cleanses that you can do. If you like to have a guided list of what you should do, it's in there for you. So we've got that available. A lot of people like to do a juice fast. You may not be ready to make that commitment, so these other cleanses are a little bit more doable for some people. You don't necessarily have to have a juicer to do one of these other cleanses. But, sometimes we really do need to just stop, time out, and get our bodies and our palate back in alignment with what our goals are for our health and our weight. So it's been great. I have really been enjoying it. And that sort of leads me into the next thing that I've mentioned this before, but I just want to say it again because not everybody watched the video before when I said this, but we have a lot of members of our website who really do struggle with eating disorders, food addictions, and they're here for good reason. And so I want to ask all of you all who post things on our website, whether you're a blogger or you're posting comments in the discussion threads, I just want to encourage you to refrain from talking about specific trigger foods, foods that are maybe in the cooked food or the junk food world, calling those foods by name and talking about how you stumbled and what you ate and how it felt and how it tasted. I would ask you not to do that. And the reason is, it's not that I don't want you to be authentic and real about what you're doing, but some of these people who are really struggling with their eating, they read those words about what you ate, and that's enough to trigger a relapse for them. They'll get in their car and they'll go to the store and they'll buy those things and they'll eat them, and then they're, a basket case later. So, if it's within our power to keep somebody else from stumbling and going into eating something really heinous, and I'm not going to mention any of the specific food items that can be a real problem for some people, but I just really want to just encourage you all to be sensitive to the fact that it does cause trouble for some people. So if you've had a day and you really feel like you need to do a confessional and say, I slipped up yesterday, that's good enough. I mean, we can just know that you had a rough time yesterday and that you're back on the program today. You don't have to go into the gory details of it all. So, and I think that'll help us all, really. It'll help you too, because you're not focused in and, just obsessing over what you did wrong, because really we have to just dust ourselves off and move on forward. We cannot get hung up in what we have done wrong. We have to just keep it elevated. I mean, it really does make a big difference. You are what you think. It's the truth. And so I want to encourage you to look at the positives, accentuate those things, and it becomes part of who you are. So we've got just all kinds of fun things that I have planned coming up over the next couple of weeks. We're basically getting ready to celebrate Raw Food Rehab's official 1-year anniversary. We've actually been online for over a year when I very first started Raw Food Rehab, but October the 15th is the day that we've chosen to celebrate this website's 1-year anniversary. And so it's hard to believe we've gone from 65 core members when we started this site to almost 6,500 in less than a year, or right at a year. It's just been amazing. And the growth of this website has way more than exceeded what my expectations. I really thought we'd have several hundred members join. That was what I thought. Well, here we are. And it's been a great ride, and I love every minute of it. So I want to thank you for being part of what's being created here. And each one of you really do make this a richer experience for yourself and for others. The more plugged in you are here, not saying that you need to be on here all the time, because you all have lives and jobs and families, and you need to eat raw food and take care of yourself and have time to do all those things. But I just think that staying plugged into this website and other sites that are out there, Facebook's great too, staying connected with your healthy raw food enthusiastic friends, it's going to help you stay on track. And when you go out, I've talked about this many times, and once you're feeling isolated and you've walked away from it, it's much easier to go back into your old unhealthy patterns, which most of us are here because of either weight issues or health issues. That's the majority of our membership. So let's hold each other accountable and encourage each other to do good deeds each day in our own lives. Guys, I love you. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Let us know how you're doing today in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye.